So after this here, next topic here given, preparation of hydrogen general method. So preparation of hydrogen general method. So here the most active elements potassium, sodium, calcium react with the cold water, and after the reaction we get the hydroxide of the metal plus hydrogen gas. Hydroxide of the metal plus hydrogen gas, and the reaction will be vigorous, violent and exothermic reaction, because here these are the most active metals: potassium, sodium, calcium. When the potassium, sodium, calcium react with the water, so we get the hydroxide of the metal and hydrogen gas. And here the water should be cold. Even in the cold water, the reaction will be vigorous, violent and exothermic reaction. So that's why we will take the cold water for this. Even in the cold water, the reaction will be vigorous, violent and exothermic reaction, and we get the hydroxide of the metal plus hydrogen gas. So here the most active metals potassium, sodium, calcium react with the cold water. We get the hydroxide of the metal plus hydrogen gas. For example, if we take the potassium here, so potassium react with the cold water, we get the potassium hydroxide KOH plus hydrogen gas. If we take the sodium here, this is the second most active metal. Sodium react with the cold water, and here this is necessary to write here cold water. We get the sodium hydroxide, means NaOH plus hydrogen gas. If we take the calcium, this is the third. So calcium react with the cold water, we get calcium hydroxide plus hydrogen gas. So these are the reaction, and these reaction will be vigorous, violent and exothermic reaction, and after that we can balance here. And after that, if we see the other active metals, means magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron. So here these react with the steam of the water. Active metal means magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron. These react with the steam of the water, and we get the oxide of the metal plus hydrogen gas. So in these reaction, only the magnesium can react with the hot water, means boiling water, as well as steam form of the water. And when the magnesium react with the steam form or boiling up to water, so we get the oxide of the magnesium plus hydrogen gas. In the same manner, if aluminum, zinc, iron, so here steam required, means here vapor form of the water, steam required. And because these elements having the less reactivity than the most active metals, so here zinc, aluminum, iron react with the steam of water, and we get the oxide of the metal plus hydrogen gas. For example, when the magnesium react with the H2O, that is boiling water, so we get the magnesium oxide MgO plus hydrogen gas. So here magnesium react with the boiling water, we get magnesium oxide plus hydrogen gas. And if we take the other, suppose that here zinc react with the water, So here we will take the steam, means vapor of the water. So we get the zinc oxide plus hydrogen gas. Zinc oxide plus hydrogen gas. In the same manner, if we take the iron here, react with the steam form of the water, we get the Fe3O4 plus hydrogen gas. And this is the reversible reaction. Fe3O4 plus hydrogen gas. So 3Fe plus 4H2O, Fe3O4 plus 4H2. So these are the reaction. Active metal means magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron react with the steam form of the water. Only the magnesium can react with the boiling water as well as steam form of the water. We get the oxide of the respective metal plus hydrogen gas. And next, general method from acids with magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron. So here these active metals react with the acid. Dilute acid we will take. Dilute acids such as HCl or H2SO4. So only HCl or H2SO4 we can form these. Only one you have to take HCl or H2SO4. So here active metals react with the dilute acid. We get the respective salt plus hydrogen gas. For example, when the magnesium react with the dilute HCl, we get magnesium chloride plus hydrogen gas. And when the magnesium react with the dilute H2SO4, so we get the magnesium sulfate plus hydrogen gas. So we can see these reactions. So here when the magnesium react with the dilute, here we will take the dilute HCl or H2SO4. So dilute HCl, here this is necessary for writing here dilute. And we get the magnesium chloride NaCl2 plus hydrogen gas. In the same manner, when the magnesium react with the dilute H2SO4, we get magnesium sulfate plus hydrogen gas. So magnesium chloride plus hydrogen gas, and here magnesium sulfate plus hydrogen gas. In the same manner, when the zinc react with the HCl, dilute, we get zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas. And when the zinc react with the H2SO4 dilute, we get zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gas. So here magnesium react with the HCl, magnesium chloride plus hydrogen gas, magnesium react with the H2SO4 dilute, magnesium sulfate plus hydrogen gas, zinc react with the HCl, zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas, zinc react with the dilute H2SO4, we get ZnSO4 plus hydrogen gas, zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gas. So these are the reaction, and if we take the aluminum here, so aluminum in the same manner react with the HCl, aluminum chloride plus hydrogen gas, aluminum react with the H2SO4 dilute, so we get the aluminum sulfate plus hydrogen gas. So here we can see these are the displacement reaction, and here the respective metal displace the hydrogen and we get the salt and hydrogen gas. So these are the reaction. Active metal we will take. Do not take the most active metals, because we know that most active metals means potassium, sodium, calcium, these react vigorously even in the cold water. So this is the reason we will ignore for the reaction with the acid. So here for the acid, here we will take the active metals means magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron. These react with the dilute acid and we get the respective salt plus hydrogen gas. And here one heading given, nitric acid is not used in the preparation of hydrogen from metals. So here only we will take the HCl or H2SO4 dilute. Do not take the nitric acid. Nitric acid means HNO3. We will not take the nitric acid for the preparation of hydrogen with the metals. What is the reason for this here? Nitric acid is the good oxidizing agent. Nitric acid is the good oxidizing agent. And this oxidizes the hydrogen to water. So nitric acid oxidizes easily the hydrogen into the water. So this is the reason instead of hydrogen we will get the water. So we will ignore the nitric acid. This is the drawback for the nitric acid, and that's why we will take HCl or H2SO4. So here mineral acid we have to take HCl or H2SO4. Do not take the nitric acid for the preparation of the hydrogen with metals and acid. So in this way here in the exercise, here also one question, why we are not using the nitric acid for the preparation of hydrogen with metals. So this is the answer. Nitric acid is the good oxidizing agent and this oxidizes hydrogen to water. And after that, if we see the lead cannot be used in the preparation of hydrogen using dilute acid. Here lead we will not consider, because what is the reason? In the activity series, if you see the lead position, so lead position above the hydrogen. So lead also displaces the hydrogen from the acid, but we will not consider the lead. What is the reason? Because one problem here, that if we consider the lead, lead react with the HCl or H2SO4, so here due to the reaction with HCl we will get PbCl2, lead chloride plus hydrogen gas. So this is the precipitate of white color, PPT. In the same manner, when the lead react with the H2SO4, so here we will get the PbSO4 plus hydrogen gas. So here also PbSO4, this is also the precipitate, means insoluble solid material of white color, PbCl2, PbSO4, white color precipitate, insoluble solid material. So that's why if we take this experiment, if we take the HCl or H2SO4, anyone, suppose that HCl you take, and here HCl, and if we put one piece of the lead for the reaction, this is the one piece of the lead. So here in the starting, the lead react with the HCl, we will get the PbCl2, insoluble solid material, plus hydrogen gas. But when the PbCl2 concentration increases, because due to the time and the here reaction going on, so in this way here PbCl2 concentration increases, and due to increase in PbCl2 concentration, the PbCl2 deposited on the surface of the lead. So here PbCl2 deposited on the surface of the lead. So when the concentration of the PbCl2 increases, so PbCl2 deposited on the surface of the lead. So after some time, the concentration of the lead chloride more in this reaction, and PbCl2 deposited on the surface of the lead. And due to this deposition, the remaining lead, means how much parts remain. So here remaining lead is not in contact with the acid. So here in the reaction, the remaining lead cannot react with the acid, because the remaining lead covered by the lead chloride substance. So lead chloride layer develop on the surface of the lead. So that's why the lead is not in contact with the acid. And when the lead is not in contact with the acid, so lead cannot react with the acid. So here on the surface, insoluble solid material, this is the precipitate lead chloride. Lead chloride deposited on the surface of the lead. So lead is not in contact with the acid. So that's why further reaction will stop. So this lead cannot react with the acid because this is covered by the lead chloride substance. So this is the reason further reaction will stop, means no any liberation of the hydrogen gas, no any production of hydrogen gas in this reaction. So this is the reason we will ignore the lead. Lead cannot be used in the preparation of hydrogen using dilute acid. General methods from alkalis with zinc, lead, aluminium. So here general methods from alkalis means preparation of the hydrogen gas by using the alkalis. Alkalis means here sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, means those bases soluble in the water. Alkalis means those bases soluble. Alkali means those bases. Alkalis. This is the plural form of the alkali. So here those bases soluble in the water. Alkalis. So here if we take here zinc, lead, aluminium. So zinc, lead, aluminium react with the alkalis, and due to the reaction, these give the respective salt plus hydrogen gas. So here when the zinc react with the sodium hydroxide, so we will get the sodium zincate plus hydrogen gas. When the zinc react with the potassium hydroxide, so potassium zincate plus hydrogen gas. And when the lead react with the sodium hydroxide, so we will get the sodium plumbite plus hydrogen gas. And when the aluminium react with the sodium hydroxide, so we will get the sodium aluminate plus hydrogen gas. So we can see from these one reaction. So hydrogen gas also can be prepared by using the alkalis with metals, and here only the few metals here, zinc, lead, aluminium. So here when the zinc react with the sodium hydroxide, NaOH, so we get the sodium zincate, Na2ZnO2 plus hydrogen gas. Sodium zincate plus hydrogen gas. In the same manner, when the potassium, here if we take the potassium hydroxide, Zn plus potassium hydroxide, so we will get the potassium zincate plus hydrogen gas. And when the lead react with the sodium hydroxide, so these are strong alkalis here, strong alkalis. We will take the strong alkalis. So metals such as zinc, lead, aluminium react with the strong alkalis, and we get the salt plus hydrogen gas. So here when the lead react with the sodium hydroxide, strong alkali, so we will get the sodium plumbite plus hydrogen gas. Sodium plumbite plus hydrogen gas. In the same manner, when the other elements, suppose that aluminium react with the sodium hydroxide, so we will get the sodium aluminate plus hydrogen gas. So these are the reaction, and in these reaction, alkali is used for the preparation of hydrogen gas. And after this year, Active metals activity, series of metals, reaction with metals. Here these are given. So here one thing more given, unique nature of the zinc, lead and aluminium. Zinc, lead and aluminium form oxide, zinc oxide and hydroxide. Example zinc hydroxide, which are amphoteric in nature. So zinc oxide, zinc hydroxide having the amphoteric nature. So some metals here given, zinc, lead, aluminium oxide and hydroxide of these are amphoteric nature. Amphoteric nature means acidic character, basic character both present. So if both acidic basic character present in the same compound, so we can say amphoteric in nature, means both character present, means behaves as the acidic as well as basic character, basic substance. And after this here activity, series of metals given. So we know that potassium, sodium, calcium, potassium, this is the most active metal. Then after sodium, then calcium, then magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron, these are given. And next topic we will study laboratory method for the preparation of hydrogen gas. Laboratory method for the preparation of hydrogen gas. So in this topic we can see here. So here in the laboratory preparation of the hydrogen, this is the apparatus, this is the setup for the hydrogen gas, this is the apparatus. And in this apparatus that we will take the round bottom flask, and in this we will take the zinc granules, means zinc in the granulated form. So first of all we will see the reaction. We know that when the zinc react with the HCl or H2SO4 dilute, so we know that zinc chloride here plus hydrogen gas. So when the zinc react with the dilute HCl, we will get zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas, and when the zinc react with the dilute H2SO4, so we will get the zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gas. So any one acid from these we can take for the laboratory preparation of the hydrogen. And here metal we are taking the zinc. This is the laboratory preparation of the hydrogen. Zinc we will take metal, and this zinc metal react with the dilute acid HCl or H2SO4. We get the respective salt plus hydrogen gas. So this is the experiment, and here we are taking the zinc granules. So here zinc we will take, magnesium also we can take for the preparation, but here zinc is suitable for the laboratory preparation of hydrogen. What is the reason for this? Because zinc is the cheap metal, and zinc, this is the commercial made substance. In the zinc, some impurities are present. Here we are taking the zinc granules. Zinc granules means it has some impurities present, because this is the commercial made substance. This is not pure zinc. This is impure zinc. Here this is coming from the industry, that this is the commercial made substance, and due to the commercial made substance, here the some amount of the impurities are present. Little amount of the impurities are present, and due to the presence of the impurities, these impurities enhance the chemical reaction. Means we can say these impurities work as the catalyst. So here the impurity work as the catalyst. So in this way, here these impurities works as the catalyst, and due to this reason, the impurities here present, and due to the presence of the impurities, the chemical reaction going on in fast speed, because these here impurities act as the catalyst. So in this way, here zinc we are taking, zinc granules, and here this we will put in the round bottom flask. This is the round bottom flask here, and we will add the dilute HCl or H2SO4 with the help of the Thistle funnel, and here this is the Thistle funnel, and one knob present. We will put the dilute acid in this Thistle funnel, and in the slow manner we have to put the acid, because this is the acid, and for the regulation here knob is given, and with the help of the knob we can regulate the speed of the dilute acid. Here we are using the dilute HCl, speed of the dilute HCl. In very slow manner we have to put in that, in the round bottom flask. So when we put the dilute HCl in the slow manner with the help of the knob, so we will put the dilute HCl in this, and with the help of the knob, the HCl will come from here in the slow manner. We have to put in the slow manner. This is the acid. So in this way, here dilute HCl react with the zinc, and due to the reaction, the hydrogen gas release we can see in this chemical equation. Zinc react with the dilute HCl, we get the zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas. So here hydrogen gas release, this is the gas, this will go upward in direction, and here one delivery tube present. With the help of this delivery tube, the hydrogen gas will pass, and here this is the beehive self, and in this water present here. So here this hydrogen gas will pass from the downward displacement of water. Means from downward direction. So here hydrogen gas pass from the water by the downward displacement of water. So hydrogen gas passing from the water by the downward displacement of water, and here one inverted tube present on that, and in this inverted tube here the some portion empty, upper part empty. In this empty part hydrogen gas collected. So here hydrogen gas passing from the downward displacement of water. So here bubbles develop of hydrogen, because this is the gas. And here at the empty place, here no any water, empty place. So in this empty place, the hydrogen gas collected. So by this experiment, we can collect the hydrogen gas in the empty place. So here some question arises in this experiment, that why we are using the downward displacement of water. So we are knowing that hydrogen gas is immiscible in the water, means very slightly soluble, negligible soluble, very slightly soluble in the water. So that's why here one reason. And the second reason here, we know that hydrogen makes the explosive mixture with air. Hydrogen react with the oxygen. So here hydrogen, if we collect the hydrogen by the downward displacement of air, so here hydrogen react with the oxygen, hydrogen react with the air. So in this way, hydrogen makes the explosive mixture with air. Hydrogen is the inflammable gas, and this makes explosive mixture with air. This is the reason we will not collect the hydrogen by the downward displacement of air. Hydrogen is lightest gas. We will not collect the hydrogen by the downward displacement of air. We will collect the hydrogen by the downward displacement of water. Because what is the reason here in this condition? That hydrogen is immiscible in the water, very slightly soluble, we can say negligible solubility in the water, very less solubility. And that's why we are collecting the hydrogen by the downward displacement of water. And here in this inverted tube, here water present here up to here. So one empty place here present. In this empty place, no any air present, no any air present. And this created in this tube by taking the water in the one tube. Suppose that this is the tube and here we are taking the water, and if we invert this tube, so here one vacant place develop at the upper. So here vacant place means empty place, we can say here no any air present. So that's why in this empty place hydrogen gas collected, and this is pure. So here no any reaction takes place, no any air present, and by the downward displacement of water also we can observe the gas, because we know that gas coming from the water, so bubbles develop. By seeing the bubbles we can understand that hydrogen gas coming. And sometimes the hydrogen associated with the macroparticles, because we are knowing that zinc here granulated form, commercial made substance, many impurities are present in this zinc. So in this way macroparticles also washed by the water, washed by the water, because this is coming from the water by the downward displacement of water. So in this way these are the benefits. This is the reason we are taking the downward displacement of water. But here if anybody asks why we are using the downward displacement of water, so here to the point correct answer here, because hydrogen makes explosive mixture with air, so that's why we are using the downward displacement of water. And hydrogen is immiscible in the water, hydrogen immiscible in the water, and that's why we are collecting the hydrogen by the downward displacement of water. So we are not collecting the hydrogen by the displacement downward displacement of oxygen, because hydrogen reacts with the oxygen, makes explosive mixture with air, and we will collect the hydrogen by the downward displacement of water, because hydrogen solubility very less in the water, very less. And one more thing here, that thistle funnel end. So here one precaution we have to take. This thistle funnel end should be dipped in the acid, should be dipped in the acid for avoiding the error in the amount of hydrogen gas. So here if we are not dipping the thistle funnel end in the acid, so what will happen that time? That some hydrogen gas also may go inside the thistle funnel tube. So this is the problem here. Error means this create the error in the amount of hydrogen. We cannot get the correct amount of the hydrogen in the inverted tube, in the empty place of the tube. So that's why this is the reason the thistle funnel end should be deep in the acid. If you are not dipping the acid, so some hydrogen gas may go inside this tube. So this create the error in the amount of hydrogen gas. So thistle funnel end should be deep in the acid. This is the precaution. And the full apparatus should be airtight. The full apparatus should be airtight, because we know that hydrogen reacts with the oxygen, hydrogen makes the explosive mixture with air. So any problem up to here?
Sir, in today's class you have to